2nd July 2023 Madhapan Avyakt BapDada Om Shanti Revise 26th of January 1995. The Murli's title is Two More Steps of Father Brahma, Obedient in Following All Orders and Faithful. Today, BapDada is seeing all the loving and cooperative children, the powerful and equal children everywhere. All the children are loving, but they are powerful according to their capacity. The loving children receive multi-million times love and cooperation in return for their love. The powerful and equal children receive the return by being constantly and easily victorious. Of course, everyone receives this, but because the loving children are only powerful according to their capacity, they are not constantly able to experience victory easily. Sometimes it is easy and sometimes it is difficult. BapDada gives the loving children the cooperation of making their hard work easy, because the loving children are also cooperative. So in return for their cooperation, BapDada also gives them cooperation. However, even when they receive cooperation, because their yoga is not accurate, they are not able to experience any attainment. Only by having yoga can you experience cooperation, and because the powerful and equal children are constantly yoga-yukta, they are easily able to become victorious by experiencing cooperation. However, the Father loves both types of children. All the children have love and the pure desire to be constantly victorious, but because they lack power, they are not able to use all the powers at times of need. The Father gives all the children a right to all the powers as a right of the inheritance. BapDada does not differentiate when it comes to giving the rights. He makes everyone into those who have full rights, but children become number-wise in receiving those rights. Does BapDada give special, separate tuition to anyone? He does not. The study is the same for everyone. The sustenance received by everyone is the same. Is it that the Pandavas receive some different sustenance from that which the Shaktis receive? The study and sustenance received by everyone is the same. But there is so much difference between taking this and its result. There is so much difference between the 8 jewels and the 16,108. Is there not? Why is there a difference? There is a difference between imbibing the study, the sustenance, and the blessings, and in using them practically. Some children do imbibe all of this, but they do not know how to use them at the right time. They will be overflowing with them intellectually. But there is a difference when putting them into practice. How did Father Brahma become number one? You were told earlier about 2 of his steps. The third step, he constantly obeyed the orders of the Father, the teacher, and the Sadguru. He said, "Yes, my Lord," to every order. You saw how he put the Father's orders to be full of the inheritance of all treasures and to make others the same into practice. He used all the treasures of knowledge, powers, virtues, the importance of this elevated time, and the treasure of elevated thoughts from the first day to the last day. Even on the last day, he used his time and thoughts for the children. He used all the treasures of knowledge, of the power of remembrance, and of being an embodiment of tolerance until the last day. He even forgot about his body and demonstrated how to use this practically for service. This is known as being a number one child in following all the orders. The special order from the Father is to be constantly equal to the Father in remembrance and service. So, from the beginning until the last moment, you saw both orders being followed practically. To follow is a sign of love. So check that you have used all the treasures from the beginning until now for yourselves and for service. The Father's order is that you must not waste even one breath, one thought, or 1 second. So did you follow this order practically throughout the day? Or did you sometimes put it into practice and sometimes not? If you are obedient sometimes and not at other times, then in which list would you come? If BapDada were to make a list of those who are obedient, in which list would you be? You know yourself, do you not? Your trustees, the masters of all the treasures. So without instructions from the Father, you cannot use even one thought for anything else. Or do you think that you are a child and a master, and so you can use them however you want? And what does it matter to the Father? The Father has given them. And so why does he want an account of them now? No. However, you tell the Father every day, everything is yours, it is not mine. Do you see this? Or is it yours sometimes and mine at other times? When it suits you, they are yours. Otherwise, they belong to the Father. You do not become clever in this way, do you? You saw Father Brahma. He used his rest time for churning and kept it for the children. He even stayed awake at night and gave the power of yoga to the children. You have heard about these activities, have you not? You have heard the story of Brahma, have you not? Did you follow the Father or just listen to it? To hear it means to do it. The third step, constantly say, "Yes, my Lord," and the Lord becomes ever present. Father Shiv never became separated from Father Brahma. He remained ever present, did he not? The child said, "Baba," and the Father said, "Sweet child." And so, did you experience him to be ever present in the stage of your mind? He always said, "Yes, my Lord," for service, whether it was day or night. As soon as he received the direction for service, he put it into practical. In performing actions too, he always said, "Haji." He taught you the lesson of Haji, did he not? So, what are you following? You do not sometimes say Haji and sometimes Naji, do you? So show the proof of your love. Do not think that no one else has as much love as you have for Baba. Look in my heart. What can I show you? What can I tell you? Children sing such songs, but now show the proof of that. The proof is to follow the Father. So check your stage in service and your activity, that is in connections and relations. To form connections and relationships is also karma. As to whether you are following the Father in all three. Do all the orders only remain in your intellects, or are they also put into practice? The result seen is that if there are 100 things in your intellects and words, there are 50 things in your actions. So would you be said to be following the Father? Should those of you who only attain half the result be put in the list of those who follow the Father? What do you think? Are you obedient? Or are you happy with just half marks? Do you like a little difference? Look, in the beginning, you also used to make a rosary. You used to make a list of those who would be in the golden age and who would be in the silver age. Should we make a list again? Or will you become copper age by seeing your name in the list of the silver age? The Father is of course warning you about the time, and the elements are also warning you. The elements are also challenging you, and so, according to the time, you also warn others. You tell everyone in your lectures that the time has come, the time has now come. Do you also tell this to yourselves, or do you only tell others thus? It is easy to tell others, is it not? So, now put this challenge into your awareness for yourselves. What is the speed of your efforts according to the time? BapDada is amused about one thing. Do you know what he amused about? The majority of your children do this sometimes. On the one hand, you think that, according to the time, you should be intense in your efforts, but you think this for 1 second, and the next second, when Maya influences you, you think that all of this will continue all the time anyway. That this has continued from the beginning of the time with the Maharathis as well. And so, what can BapDada do? He would not get angry, would he? He would only smile. The main reason for this is that from time to time, effort has been made very easy. It has been made easy. You do not become easy in your natures. Your natures are tight, but you remain easy in your efforts. Then you think this is easy yoga, is it not? However, to remain easy means loose in your life, and your efforts is not called easy yoga. The powers become merged when you remain easy. They do not remain emerged. All of you should remember the beginning of your Brahman life. What were your efforts like at that time? Was it easy effort, or did you have to pay attention to making effort? It was with attention and with zeal and enthusiasm you have now received Dunlop pillows and bedding of carelessness. The facilities have made you into those who like rest and comfort a great deal. So check yourselves against your efforts, your service, and your zeal and enthusiasm of the early days. Were you those who loved rest and comfort? No. However, are you that a little now? The facilities are for service. They are not for making you into those who love rest and comfort. So now, remove the Dunlop pillows and bedding. Become kings means Patrana, and queens means Patrani of the floor. Even if you sleep on the bed, let your stage be that of a king of the floor. Look, in the beginning, they did not have facilities, but their spiritual endeavor was so elevative. It was the spiritual endeavor of the beginning that brought about this expansion. So do not hide the seed of spiritual endeavor. Admit the expansion. When expansion takes place, the seed is hidden. And so, the spiritual endeavor is the seed and the facilities are the expansion. Therefore, do not let the seed of spiritual endeavor be hidden. Now reveal the seed once again. BapDada gave you a task to carry out this season, but you have not done it. Do you remember what task you were given? Or is it in your notebooks? You were given the task of discussing with yourselves and with others an attitude of unlimited disinterest and of revealing the seed of spiritual effort practically. So did you do this, or did you just have a debate for one day? You had a workshop, but it was not put into use. So according to the present time, now create an attitude of unlimited disinterest for your service and for the timetable of your center. At present, a timetable of great comfort has become mixed. The carelessness makes you make excuses even about small illnesses of the body. Previously, when you used to have an illness, your enthusiasm for service made the illness become more. When you are doing some service that you love, do you remember your illness at that time? If the sister who is in charge tells you that your health is not okay and that you should let someone else do, would you allow that? At that time, where does your fever and headache go? However, what happens when you have to do some service that you don't like? You would have a stomach ache, or a headache. If you had a fever, your teacher would tell you to use the thermometer, but there is no thermometer for a headache or a stomachache. It would be your mood that is not right, and yet you would say that you had a stomachache. These are excuses for carelessness. The attitude of unlimited disinterest has merged, and making excuses has emerged. So BapDada saw that all of your children have come to Madhuban with a lot of love. You have shown your love, and so congratulations for that. BapDada is also pleased to see the happiness of the children. But what do you have to do in future? Do you simply have to reach Madhuban, or do you have to reach your angelic form in the subtle region? In order to show the proof of your love, what do you have to do? Congratulations for having reached Madhuban. But when will you become an angel and reach the subtle region? While you are walking and moving around, let everyone only see you as angels. Let your words, your activity, your way of living all become like those of angels. To be an angel means to be double light. So do not become light means lose in your timetable, but be light in your connections, relations, and your stage. So, do you know how to become light? Or does some burden pull you? BapDada wants to see the proof of love. When you give the proof of love, you will not need to applaud, but Maya will applaud. Wow, victorious soul, wow. The elements will also applaud. So, now bring about some transformation. Now, as well as having love, make yourselves powerful. Now, become a form of power in terms of transformation of yourselves. Do not be careless in thinking that you are an easy yogi. BapDada sees that in all four directions, a lot of carelessness has developed, whether for yourselves, for service, or for connections and relations. Do not think that it will do. Do not copy one another, copy the Father. You have developed the habit of looking at others a lot more. You have become careless about checking yourselves. BapDada had told you that your short sight has become powerful and your long sight has become weak. So what will you do now? What will you give as the fruit of the season? Or is the fruit simply coming, meeting, celebrating, a meeting and listening to the Murli? What will you give as the fruit? There is fruit for every season. So what will you offer to BapDada as bhog for the fruit of the season? When you offer a bhog, you also have fruit, do you not? You can attend that fruit and the market. That is not a big thing. What will you offer to Baba as bhog or give as a gift as the fruit of the season? Are you going to offer it, or do you find this difficult? We shall see where the number one bhog comes from. What happens is that you make very good promises before you go. You never say no, you always say yes. At that time, you please Baba. So, what will you do now? Your teachers will offer the number one bhog, will you not? Baba will see the bhog from all the centers. Those of you who live in a household also offer bhog, do you not? Or do you just eat it yourselves? You do offer bhog, do you not? Do not think that this is the duty of only those who live at the centers. It is everyone's duty. So, you have to put into practical the step of being obedient and following every order. The fourth step is the faithful. Do not be unfaithful to the Father in your mind, in your intellect, or even in your thoughts. To be faithful means constantly to belong to the one Father and none other. Do not let your bodily relations, material comforts of the body, or any bodily beings attract you. Even in your thoughts, for a husband and wife to be faithful to one another, they do not remember anyone else, even in their dreams. Otherwise, they would not be said to be faithful. So, you saw Father Brahma. He never even thought of anyone else. The one Father is everything. This is known as being faithful. If there is an attention to even physical things, if there is an attraction to some facilities, then your spiritual endeavor and faith are broken, and that which is damaged cannot become complete and worthy of worship. So check that no type of attraction is making you unfaithful, even in your thoughts. If there is the slightest pull towards anyone, if there is even a little personal subservience, whether to someone's virtue, service, or good sanskars, if you are impressed by this a little, you would then not be said to be faithful. If you are attracted to anyone's specialities, to the unlimited specialities, that is a different matter. But you are especially attracted towards a person or material comfort, then your name would be removed from the list of those who are faithful. Check that you are not a damaged idol. Are you worthy of worship? You do not have any extra attachment or pull, do you? Let there not be the slightest pull even in your thoughts, let alone in your words and actions. If there is even the slightest pull in your thoughts, you would come in the list of those who are defective. You do know how to check? Do you not? Acha. To those all in all four directions who give the proof of their love, to those who put every instruction into their thoughts, words, and actions, to those who make themselves simple and a sample like the Father, to those who place every step in the footsteps of the Father Brahma, to all such powerful children who have the determination to become like the Father, BapDada's love, remembrance, and Namaste. The spiritual children says Namaste and good morning to the spiritual Father. Blessing. May you be an easy effort maker and play a hero part by having the stage of a detached observer. Explanation. The stage of a detached observer helps you to play a hero part in the drama. If you are not detached, you cannot play a hero part. To be a detached observer means to be detached from your body, and for the soul to be stable in the stage of being the master of it. Be an observer, even with your body, be its master. I am a soul who makes this body to perform actions. Such a stage of a detached observer lets you experience easy effort, because there can be no obstacles or difficulties in the stage. This is the main practice. With this practice, you will become victorious at the end. Slogan. If you want to become an angel, forge all your relationships with the one God. Om Shanti.